E. Martin in the house. I'm with my 3 of my 4 crazy daughters. There's Shy. Say hey, what's up, Shy? All right, Jasmine. What up, baby girl? And Z Low in his house. All right, so I'm turning it, and this is their dad. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but anyway, we are at the Cheesecake Factory, putting it in, and I don't get to hang out with these sisters too often because they all grown now, and they don't like hanging out with me like they did when they was little.
That is not true.
So
that is not the reason.
That's not the reason.
Do not be lying to the internet like that.
Y'all ain't grown.
Well, we
It's
are
not
grown,
true.
but not too
Y'all-
grown for you.
Not too grown for your dad. All right, well, that makes me feel better. All right, we gonna put it away though, ladies? We're gonna put it in? All right. I love you all, and I just wanted to holler at you. Peace. Good morning, Millennials and Gen Z. What's happening? What's happening, Millennials and Gen Z? This is F from B. Martin, 59 years of age, and the father, a girl dad of 4 adult daughters, 36. Let me get it right. 36, 30, 27, and 24. What's happening? What's happening? You're back for another live stream at Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E, the coolest uncle on the internet. What's happening, y'all? All right, I'm welcoming you back for another live stream, and I pray to God that all is well. I pray that your health is doing good. I pray that you had a good week. God's blessing you at your jobs, in your careers, in school, on your trades, and all that good stuff. Welcome you back. So we have another live stream today. And what we're going to be discussing, Millennials and Gen Z, we're going to be talking about, is college worth it? Let me repeat that. Is college worth it? On Sharing Your Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. Well, on my podcast, we're going to be talking about different subject matter, and I'm going to be sharing my wisdom with you, Millennials and Gen Z. And when we talk about college, it's always one of those situations for a lot of people, particularly Millennials and Gen Z, whether or not you should attend school or not attend school. And here at Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to share with you, what's going on with you. What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? And when you're talking about college, or you're talking about a trade school, or you're talking about not, going to college at all, just going right into the workforce, there's a lot of things to consider. What do I think about college? Do I think that college is worth it? Absolutely. College is 100% worth it. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and economics. I worked in the criminal justice system for 20 years. I'm a former state of Colorado juvenile probation officer, and I've been a certified paralegal since 1984. I was a paralegal in the United States Marine Corps. I'm a USMC veteran. I also worked 10 years in K-12 education. I'm a former teacher, dean of students, and restorative justice coordinator. So I worked 30 years, 20 years in the criminal justice system, 10 years in K-12 education with parents and their children from all socioeconomic backgrounds and or cultures. So I got a little something underneath my belt, and I loved working with children. Children are amazing. I much prefer children than adults, because when you're dealing with adults, you're always dealing with some foolishness and some nonsense, and you're always got to play games. So I'm cool. Give me kids. I'm good. But when it comes to college, that was my path I took, and don't have any regrets. I've never been unemployed. Never. I've never been unemployed. I've been working since I was 16 years of age. So that's about almost 44 years, I believe. You see, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56. Yeah, almost 44 years. I've never been unemployed. There's been 7 recessions in my lifetime since 1965. I was born May 31st, 1965, and there's been 7 recessions. I've never been unemployed. My skill set has followed me regardless of what environment I've put myself in and what I've done professionally. My skill set has always followed me. So my craft that I've worked on over the last 44 years, I've applied it. And like I said, I've never been unemployed. So college for me is definitely worth it. And you can't, I want to tell you young people, you hear so much craziness and madness when it comes to going to college, or should you, go to trade school, or should you just go right into the workforce? Your choice. All four of my daughters. My oldest daughter is a traveling nurse, college professor, and she's working on her doctorate degree in nursing. She'll have that in 2026. I'm so proud of that girl. I've got two daughters that are in the hemp industry here in the state of Colorado. That's where we live. They've been in the hemp industry for probably about the last 5-6 years. They're doing very, very well. My youngest daughter, my baby girl, my mini me, she also travels back and forth between Colorado and California. She works, and she's into music. She's into recording and just working on that end of movies and things of that nature. So all of my girls are handling their business. I'm so very proud of all of them. And the good thing about my daughters is I exposed them to everything. They decided eventually what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So I exposed my daughters to everything, and they decided what they were going to do. I never pushed them in one direction. I'm not one of those parents that was overbearing and said, you got to do this or you got to do that. I exposed them. I told them the most important thing in life, one of the most important things in life is passion and happiness. Because when you're passionate, you're going to be happy. Money is not the end all. Money causes a lot of problems. It really, really can cause a lot of problems. More money, more problems. One of the records that I grew up on. And it can cause a lot of problems. But when you talk about your education, millennials and Gen Z, it's an investment. Okay. It is not, and I repeat, it is not debt. You can't look at investing in your education as being in debt, because your education, once you get a bachelor's degree, regardless of what you spent on your education, it is forever, right? So you can't look, if you spend $100,000 on an education, you can't look at that as debt. That's an investment into your future, right? So many people end up getting degrees and they don't end up working in the field in which they got their degrees in. And that's okay, because that's what your skill set is all about. That's where your skill set comes into play, right? So for me, education is definitely worth it. Definitely. So I encourage young people to go to college. I encourage young people to go to a trade school. I encourage young people to go into the market right out of high school. It's up to you. You have choices. That's a good thing about life. Life is about choices, but don't allow, for those of you that are going to school, don't allow those who don't have a degree to tell you that it's not worth going to school. It is. And for anyone to suggest that, and you've never been to school and you never graduated from college, shut that nonsense up, because that just isn't true. You're more valuable depending on what you want to do in your life when you have a bachelor's degree. Those are the facts, right? And I'm going to be sharing some statistics with you a little bit later, showing you the differences when you get a bachelor's degree, not having a bachelor's degree. Okay? We're going to talk about that. So welcome. And before we get started, every week I'm going to share my wisdom podcast, my actual website. Not website, my actual YouTube channel. And from there, I'm going to show you my ebooks. I have 23 ebooks that I've written, y'all. Yeah. I'm a very knowledgeable brother. This is why I'm sharing with you, right? And if you're interested, I would encourage you to purchase the ebooks. And they go hand in hand with sharing my wisdom podcast with Uncle E. All right? So let's get into it. Let's check it out. Let me open this up. Give me 1 second. All this technology. Okay, let me make sure I've got it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is the main page of Share My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. Okay. As you can see, this is where we're at. And then when you, if you go here, you click on more, you will see about me. Okay. And then you see these links, right? And my channel details. I currently have 4 subscribers, and I'm growing organically, so I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna blow up, but I'm good right now. Got my email if you need to email me. Go down where it says Daddy's or Share My Wisdom podcast ebooks. Click on that link. And let me just make sure we're there. Okay. We are there. So these are my ebooks. And I have, excuse me, I have 23 ebooks total. My ebooks, 22 of them are sold for $7 a piece. Okay. So I'm just going to check them out real quick. These are my ebooks. Okay. I'm sharing. I do this every week before we get started with my with the live stream, just so you can see exactly what's going on. Okay. And they're sold for $7 a piece. One of my ebooks, Daddy's Girls, A Father's How-To in Building Lifelong Relationships, is from my other YouTube channel, Daddy's Grow Dad YouTube channel. I sell that for $15 because, excuse me, it is it's actually a book that I self-published in 2020, and it's available on Amazon.com. So let me bring it up. You can check it out real quick. Okay. So that's Daddy's Girls, A Father's How-To in Building Lifelong Relationships with Their Daughters, right? 22 of my ebooks, skill set. This is one of them. I sell them for $7 a piece, okay? And you could purchase all 22 for $100, or you could purchase them individually. It's up to you. But I would encourage you to purchase my ebooks. And in January of 2025, I'll be changing my format just a little bit. I'll be bringing you Millennials and Gen Z onto my podcast. And we're going to have discussions about a lot of different topics. But I think it'd be in your best interest to purchase my ebooks. And, we'll be able to talk about them, face to face, one-on-one. Okay. So, okay, Millennials and Gen Z. I want to get into this video that I'm going to share with you. I believe it is, let me see. It's 16 minutes long. So what I've done is I made this video from TikTok, and I appreciate TikTok. I appreciate all social media, because for me, TikTok is a library of education. I know a lot of people go there and just upload videos, watch videos, but I'm all about education here at Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. And like I said, it's a wealth of information that is on TikTok, because you share your lives. You really, really do. So I'm going to take that information and then I'm going to come back and share it. And this video I made, it's talking about, is college worth it? Okay. So we're going to get into it. Give me a second here, Millennials and Gen Z. Make sure everything's on the up and up. Let's see here. That's there.
You think college is worth it?
Okay. Okay, Millennials and Gen Z, is college worth it? It's about 16 minutes, and then I'll come back. I'm going to share some additional data and statistics from Pew Research with you, okay? All right, let's do this.
You think college is worth it? I think college is worth it, dude. Yeah. I mean, because nowadays, Shoot, I was actually, it's pretty interesting because I had an assignment the other day for my class, but like, you know, you can make a career without going to college. I got buddies of mine, dude, like, you know, after high school, they went to the oil rigs, they went to like the refineries. They're making like big money, dude. Like, I'm talking about they're busting their ass working. So I mean, it's either career you choose, but I think, yeah, like for the most part, dude, like nowadays, like college is really necessary to get like a career you want, like an actual career. It's like going to give you like stable money for like a family, house, car.
I believe college is 100% worth it. It proves that you have the discipline to do 4 years or even more, better for you. That's a lot than a lot more people do, and don't regret it at all.
And what do you say for people who just can't do college? Like they just, their mind doesn't let them do college.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I've had friends that at least gave it a shot. Like, if you give it a shot, like, at least you could say you at least tried it, you know. Like, if you don't give it a shot, hey, dude, like, you never went to college, you know.
Like, as long as you do more like than a year, what you would say?
Yeah, like, just give it a shot. Well, it just wasn't for them, you know. Like, maybe they're gonna move on to another career. Best of luck to them, but I think everyone should at least try to give it a shot, you know.
Today was my first day of school, and y'all, I'm a college student. I'm trying this thing one more time, but by the grace of God, I am going to finish. I had to wake up early for this class, and the professor had the nerve not to come. She's talking about it's construction. Where? And the weather was so bad, it was raining the whole entire day. But I got my ID badge, and my last class was everything. I know I'm going to love this class. Let me know if y'all want me to document my whole going back to school in your 30s vlog on a daily.
Do you think it's a waste of time to even go to college? Or
college is there's two sides to it. If you want, I have 2 children, right? Okay, and a step as well, right? If you want to be professional, doctor, a lawyer, or something else, like my daughter's a psychologist, right? Where a license is required, and I think, of course, you should go to college and go down the path and do whatever courses you got to take to get licensed. And now you want to be an accountant, a lawyer, right? That's one thing, right? If you have no entrepreneurial side to you and you want to go and get an MBA or something, you can do that. But if you're someone else that like is going to do either into the trades, or you want to be an entrepreneur, music, like my son's a musician in music, right? I don't think there's any reason to go to college. I think college is a complete waste of time with ridiculously, pumped up tuitions that are just asinine, if you ask me. So I would never recommend someone to go to college unless they want to choose that path. For my daughter, it made sense. For my son, it didn't.
With school, I feel like school kept. College and all that, I feel like it's capped if you're not.
Now,
if you're not going, hold on, let me finish the statement. If you're not going to chase the degree, people get degrees and don't chase the degree. Somebody try to get a master's for, like, say for instance, get a master's in electrician to be the best electrician, right? But don't go to be a businessman. Well, so it's like when you get the qualification don't match what you're trying to do to make some more money.
I never understood that either. But don't say it's capped though, because
that's why I was trying to explain. The other side of it, if you chase what you're getting, then you get into these different jobs in these different places. If you study business, anytime somebody in college and you don't study business, how the hell you gonna go be a boss?
Because a lot of us ain't you a boss.
I'm talking about people that go to college and go 4 years, and then they go 4 years again and get a master's, but the master's don't be something that they can use in their real life to something they want to really do.
And a lot of I'm just saying this. I'm not telling a motherfucker not to go to college.
Exactly. That's what I'm not saying. I'm not telling them
go to college. Because there's a lot of successful motherfuckers that do go to college.
If you go there though, but
I'm just saying a lot of motherfuckers that I know to go to college, they go to school for 44 fucking years. And then they get the fuck out and be in debt for the rest of their fucking life. Oh, I gotta pay off these fucking loans. You 50. Fuck you mean paying off loans? You still paying that shit off?
And they're not sparing you either.
And then a lot of them be getting jobs for under $100,000. I make 68,000. Wait, you went to school for 44 years to make 68 bands? I'm just saying, I don't be understanding this sometimes. Then you got to pay these back how much? Wait, you owe them triple damn near what the fuck you make. And how the fuck is this adding up? I'm confused. So a lot of people go and be successful. A lot of people go and, I went to school for to be a lawyer. Oh, did you graduate? Yeah, I got everything. Why the fuck is you a registered nurse then?
But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. This one thing I will say, and this is a different outlook on y'all.
Fuck's going on?
I will say this. College, to me, college is not just about the education, it's also about relationships. Most people got some of the most powerful relationships going to school, getting it, you know what I mean? Because they
fuck with two from college.
All right,
man.
that's you. You's a loser. But I'm saying, like, the average person, they go there, get relationships, and everybody can't be a boss. Everybody's not going to do the next level stuff. And sometimes people don't know.
That's not what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. When you going to college, when you
Nigga
might
will go to college and
but
get
listen,
a
you
certain success and then live.
but you might. The only thing I'm saying is that this is all I'm saying is that you might be in that phase. You know how you grow 2-3 years, you might be a different person. You might have went for nursing, but you might have wanted to do something else. That's all I'm saying. People, it's just like when you 18, you want to be this or that. When you 13, you something, and then by the time you 25, you want to be something else. So you might come out and be like, damn, I want to do that. But it might be relationships that can connect you to different things in life. And you go to college, tap into different coaches. You said yourself, you went to college and was like, oh, I didn't know it was different people, different coaches. Like, I'm not saying like that, but you went and you connected with different coaches and had different outlooks on life.
I did.
And you got brotherhoods and
in this
sisterhoods.
time of age, though,
I also still owe them money.
In this type of age, too.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never paid them the fuck back.
Oh yeah,
fuck no.
Well, that's on you. They gonna come looking for you.
Yeah, that's cool.
This May, I got two people graduating. Nala, his daughter, and my stepdaughter Day. They graduating right in May. Nala is ready to be a rock star, but you're happy as shit that your daughter is graduating from college.
Yes, I am.
So it's still something there.
No.
We wasn't saying that.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm
I know
saying,
what you're saying, but I know what you're saying.
No,
but I just want to.
What I'm saying is, if I just spent all this motherfucking money for her to fucking go to Rutgers, and then my fucking daughter graduate, and she making minimum fucking money doing something that I paid all this fucking money for you to fucking do, and you not doing that, and you making minimum money. You think I wouldn't call my motherfucking daughter a fucking goofball too? I fucking would, and I'd be mad as shit. All this fucking money I paid for you to fucking go to Rutgers, you out here working fucking waitress in that Apple fucking Bees.
I should have got I was getting AIDS in jail before I got my GED. I should have went and got my degree.
You wasn't getting AIDS in jail.
I was. That's how I wound up getting my GED.
You was dating A in jail, little
Fuck
A
outta
from out
here,
west.
Fucking hater.
You're 22 now, but you've taken a lot from college and you're able to apply it now to your adult life. And
I would
you're
say so.
getting a head start.
I would say so for sure. And I kind of just see it as like kind of space, a controlled environment where you can just try things out. You can mess up, you can fail, you can accomplish some things. And like basically nobody outside of your school is going to know. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like now that I'm finished, I look at it as if I went back, I would do it all the same. Because when I got to college, I was able to experience, working in the corporate life. I was able to experience, doing the amount of things to where I figured out like if I wanted to do content or not, and it was so easy because you're in a dorm, you're on a meal plan, you're just going to class every day. Like there's not things that you have to worry about outside of what's going on campus.
Yeah.
But if I didn't go to school, but wanted to work a job, but then do content at the same time, it's kind of like now you're worried about making money, paying rent, paying all these bills, like going to work every single day just to, make content on the side at the same time. But having that vacuum of a space where you could try and fail and, do content and it could start working and it could fall up, but you still get a job. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I always say, like, I would recommend college to people that want to do something and are unsure. Because you're able to do it in an environment where it's safe enough for you to fail and it's not going to set your entire life back,
Is college worth it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is college worth it? Yeah. Why do you think so? Better education.
It depends on the person.
It depends what you want to be in life.
Education.
You can get that on YouTube.
I mean, you kind of need degrees to get like any good job nowadays.
Okay, what are you studying?
Psych.
Biology.
Real estate.
Okay. What do you want to be in life?
Studying to be a pharmacist. Like you can't become a pharmacist without college. So
okay, what do you want to do with that?
I'm on the zoology and pre-veterinary track, so I'm going into like wildlife conservation and wildlife veterinary.
All right, so you need a degree for that?
Yes.
Psych? Okay, what do you want to do?
I want to go to research.
Okay, yeah, you definitely need a degree for that. Have a good one.
Same to you.
Have a good one. Have a good one. You too.
I like it.
I didn't want to go to college. I don't care. Sure, you should. I'm not saying it's bad, blah, blah. But for me, I hate school. I hate it. I just want to make YouTube videos.
But it was pretty simple. You know, Jimmy, you go to college, you can stay in the bonus room upstairs. You drop out, you're out of the house.
So I go to college and I just couldn't stand it, man. I remember sitting on the stairs in front of one of the college classrooms and I was like, yo, I don't know what the is going on, but I've just been grinding every hour of the day and I just pay $20 grand a month. I'm ready to tell mom that I'm failing every class. Yeah, mom, I have zeros and everything. I haven't been going. And I was like, I'll move out tomorrow.
I like his laser focus, though. I was the same way. I'm like, I'm not going to go to college. I think it's silly. Why waste the money? I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. Just go and do it.
The first thing I did was retired my mom.
See, Mom, I told you dropping out of college was a good idea.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans are skipping college and taking on pay-by-the-hour work amid fears over skyrocketing tuition and student debt. And this is a great thing. If forget the fears about crippling student debt, what they should really realize is that college is a scam, first and foremost, because it shouldn't be that expensive. It isn't overseas, but also because of the degrees that they're giving you that render you absolutely useless. The purpose of college is for the government to have you for 4 years. And these children are coming out. We're starting to realize that. I think what's happening is that my generation has grown up. We have realized how useless our college degrees are. And I hope that we are being encouraged to tell our children that if you have a business idea, go for it. That's it. You don't need to have a meaningless degree. You don't have to say, I went to the University of so-and-so and majored in sociology.
I've seen living proof that college will literally rob you of everything you had, throw you on the curb and knock it the fuck, bro. That shit is a scam. I don't care what anyone says. My mom was a literal PhD, the highest degree they can achieve. She went countless nights and days working, barely even seeing us as a kid. She finally achieved her PhD. I said, Mom, was it all worth it? She literally told me in my days, no, it was not worth it. Because I work above and beyond, no matter what I do, I'm capped at a certain amount in terms of my income. I work above and beyond everyone else, and what they only do is just give me a small reward. And that was the day I knew I did not want to go to college, because why would I spend 50, 60, 70 grand a year at literally 18 years old, not knowing what I wholeheartedly want to do, and not even be guaranteed a job? And if I am guaranteed a job like that, I'm going to make 50 grand a year and pay off that debt for the next, who knows how long. And that's why so many young people nowadays are saying screw school and going all in while they're young and have the most energy, because that's when they can take the most risk. When you're 40, 50 years old and you're working a job, you can't just drop everything that you had and go all in on a freaking side hustle, bro. You have a family to feed. At 18 and in your 20s, that's when you can actually take the most risk, go all in, and do everything that you can to potentially find out what you truly want to do and set yourself up for life if you play your cards right.
Here are some of the jobs and college degrees that have some of the best career outcomes. This data comes from the New York Federal Reserve, and at the top, you'll see nursing with an unemployment rate of 1.3%. And along with that comes an early career median income of $62,000. Plus, it's very unlikely that a nurse will be underemployed. And underemployment means you're capable of doing more advanced work based on your experience or degree, but yet you're not getting hired for more advanced work. In spots 2 and 4, you'll end up with roles in the education world. And because there's such a demand for teachers, of course, the unemployment rate will be low. But just based on how America values teachers and education, the pay is relatively low. Now, if you're looking to make money, engineering is the way to go. Computer engineers have a median early income of 80 grand, chemical engineers at 79, and aerospace engineers at 74. One thing that I didn't understand is miscellaneous education, because I just don't know what that means. I'm assuming that these are people that have various jobs in the education industry, so perhaps working in the school district headquarters. And of course, we have to save a spot for the accountants, a tried and true career field with low unemployment and at least decent wages. So for all the young people out there, I would probably pull this list and go through it and find the things that you're interested in so that you can understand what your career outcomes might be based on your degree. Because please learn from millennials. Don't go get some expensive degree in a field that will not pay.
I've yet to meet an unsuccessful engineer.
It's funny because, people make this statement all the time. College degrees aren't worth anything. And I'm like, I don't know. You're a little too hard on that. I think they exaggerate. But if you really listen to what Elon Musk said, he's spot on. You don't have to go to college if you have extraordinary skills at something. There's the qualifier. You have to have extraordinary skills at something. And I think people look at college as a waste of time. I can't tell you how my engineering degree, year after year to this day, is still paying dividends to this very day. So when I hear people say an engineering degree isn't, really worth what it used to be, I'm like, you're an idiot.
Here's why you should go to college. Number one, you'll make a perfect employee for me to hire once you get out of college. But hey, don't forget, you got to have experience, even though you're coming right out of college though. So this is something that you should look forward to, working for somebody for the rest of your life, being a great employee, building somebody else's dream like mine, and helping me make all the money in the world. Number two, you're going to get a lot of debt that you can have a goal to pay off for the rest of your life. Student loans are back on. You can pay this off for the next 10 or 15 years. Isn't that exciting? Guys, times have changed. College is no longer the best option for you as a man. I believe in mentors. A lot of your professors, your business professor doesn't have a business, never ran a business. What is he teaching you about business? You need to focus on learning things from people who already know and have the information in the life that you want to live.
Okay, Millennials and Gen Z, your thoughts on the video. Feel free to leave all your comments. I would love to hear from you, understand, and see where you're at. So, when we talk about, this is the Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. This is a portion where I'm sharing my wisdom, right? I don't tell grown adults what to do. What I do is I challenge. And my education, there's absolutely no way. At one point in 2000, I had got accepted to law school. I didn't end up going because my daughters were little, and I decided to stay in the criminal justice system, right? Then I eventually transitioned into K-12 education. So my bachelor's degree in criminal justice and economics, there's absolutely no way I could have become a probation officer because that was a prerequisite. A BA is a prerequisite, right? There's an assumption for those who don't go to college that are entrepreneurs that they're going to be successful. That's a huge assumption. It's a very, very huge assumption. And I don't try to discourage young people from doing what they want to do, but it just bothers me when I come across TikTok and, individuals who've never been in college to focus on debt. Oh, you're $100,000. You're $200,000 in debt. No, you're not. That's an investment. Point blank, period. It is an investment. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to make investments to become successful. You just are. Depending on what you're doing as an entrepreneur, it's no different than going to school. But see, entrepreneurs don't look at it that way because they have absolutely no problem putting their energy, their time, their labor, because being an entrepreneur is labor intensive, right? A lot of young people don't understand that when you become an entrepreneur, everything that you're going for, you have to invest back into your business. And social media platforms really, really have young people jacked up. When you go over to Instagram, everybody's not living in Dubai. That's a lie. Go to Facebook, everybody's not living in Asia. That's a lie. But you do have access to the world, Millennials and Gen Z. So that's a good thing, right? You have access to more things that I ever had access to, okay? In my generation, I'm Gen X. So I encourage young people, do what you want to do, point blank, period. But don't bash college as an institution. Don't bash college for those who want to attend and become better. It's a mistake for those entrepreneurs to look down at those who have an education. The brother talked about, you can come work for me. Well, actually, you can eventually end up working for someone with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a doctorate, or a PhD, or a law degree. You don't get to say that, well, you got a law degree and you're not working in law. Actually, When you think about law covers law's a broad field. It covers all industries. When you're a lawyer, you don't necessarily have to practice law, but you do have a Juris Doctor, a JD. That is more helpful to get into any other environment than not having a JD. So share my wisdom podcast. That's what I'm all about here. Education, right? And exposing you to education so you can make informed decisions. And that's the good thing, millennials and Gen Z. Always do your own research. Always do your own homework. You have access to the global economy, the global world. You can live on any continent. You can. You're not stuck within the borders of the United States of America. You're just not. So take advantage of that, millennials and Gen Z. I've traveled extensively around the world. I have traveled to 60 countries and 6 continents. The only continent I haven't traveled to is Antarctica, South Pole. I've been to every other continent. I've been to Asia. I've been to Europe. I've been to Australia. I've been to Africa. I've been to, well, we live in North America. I've been to South America. Okay. So I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I'm going to get to Antarctica one day. That's the plan. I'm going to Antarctica. I'm going to the South Pole. But I've been to 6 continents of the 7. And let me tell you one thing. I'll be doing a video in the future about education will set your mind free, or traveling the world will set your mind free. Traveling the world is a whole different experience. Because what I've learned by traveling the world, all humans, there's greatness in every culture. There's greatness in all humans. That's been my experience. You know, I speak Spanish, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm just grateful for how my life has turned out, how my kids' lives are turning out. And I'm just enjoying riding and dying with my daughters right now because they're adult women. So I'm proud of them sisters. Them little black girls got it going on, man. So that's all I'm saying, man. Leave your options open and do your research, do your homework, but don't look down on the educated. Don't do that. That's not a good thing. And don't talk crazy, because I see that a lot. If you're making money, you're a millionaire, God bless you, but everybody's not a millionaire. You're not an anonymous making millions of dollars, right? If you think you're going to make $1 million and not put in time, 80 to 100 hours a week, you're crazy. You're sadly mistaken. There's no, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm just sitting back and watching my money make money. That's not how life works. You got to put in the work. You got to work on your craft, and it takes years, right? So that's all I'm saying, young people. Keep an open mind, though. Okay. Let's take a look at some of this research I got, okay? This is, let me pull it up here. So this is Pew Research Center, right? And I believe in facts. I don't believe in, making up shit, saying whatever, not doing your research. If for me, because I'm a trained legal researcher, right? I'm a legal researcher on the defense side and the prosecution side of law. That's what I've done my whole career. In the criminal justice system, outside of the criminal justice system, in K-12 education, right? I'm a legal researcher. I'm a damn good one. So I can research anything. When I press young people, I press you because I want you to be able to defend your position. I want you to be able to use your critical thinking skills. Okay? Because you don't just get to tell me anything, I'm going to believe it. I'm a free thinker, so I'm going to challenge your position. That's what I do. Makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but I'm okay with that. But let's look at 10 facts about today's college graduates, okay? Let's take a look at this, right? Okay, number 1, nearly 4 in 10 Americans ages 25 and older have a bachelor's degree, a share that has grown over the last decade, okay? So this is from Pew Research. Check it out. Do your own research, and you'll see. Fact number 2, in a reversal, women are now more likely than men to graduate from college. Those are the facts, right? So Here's a graph showing that. About a third of men who haven't completed 4 years of college say they just didn't want to get a degree. And that's fine. Not a problem. I mean, there's just some humans that are just not built for school. That's not a problem. You know, you want to become a blue collar worker, you want to become a tradesman. I don't have a problem with that at all. I've told my daughters my preference in them marrying what men to marry. If I had my choice, I would have my daughters all marry a journeyman. I don't want them marrying an attorney. I don't want them marrying an accountant. Journeyman. Because my experience, living my life, journeymen are very, very successful. They know how to make shit and they know how to build shit. And most journeymen I've met in my life, they have unbelievable skill sets. They're mechanics. They're tradesmen. You know, they're electricians. They're welders. I mean, they have a wealth of information because they're journeymen. And they acquire that. They're good with their hands, man. So when my daughters get married, I prefer that they marry a journeyman. They're not going to listen to me, though. But that's my preference. You know, marry a journeyman. Marry a brother that goes to work every day. Because men that go to work every day, they ain't out there worrying about that foolishness and nonsense of the world. They're just not. Okay? I digress. Number 3. There are racial and ethnic differences in college graduation patterns, as well as in the reasons for not completing a degree, right? So you have these statistics. Since 2000, the share of Americans with a bachelor's degree has increased across all races and ethnicities. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, only 62% of students who start a degree or a certification program finish their program within 6 years because it's an investment. You change your mind. You can get to your 3rd year of college and say, hey, I'm going to go a different direction. That's allowed. Guess what, young people? You're allowed to change your mind. You really, really are allowed to change your mind. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't change your mind. It's your life. It's your consequence. That's how life works. You're allowed to change your mind. Only about 62% of college students finish their program within 6 years. Okay, we already discussed that. Number 5. Business is the most commonly held bachelor's degree, followed by health professions. I've worked in 2 professions that are 100% recession proof. That's why I've never been unemployed. Think about what I've done in my life. Criminal justice system, very broad. Very, very broad. K-12 education, very broad. Okay? 100% recession proof. Why do I say that? You found that out during COVID. Courts didn't close. People didn't stop getting in trouble. Criminal justice system. K-12 education. Kids had to go to school. They were online. So I've worked in 2 professions, 100% recession proof. So you don't get to tell me that a college degree isn't worth it. It absolutely is. I've never been unemployed, y'all. Okay. Number 6. There is a growing earnings gap between young college graduates and their counterparts without degrees. In 2021, full-time workers ages 22 to 27 who held a bachelor's degree but no further education made a median annual wage of $52,000, compared with $30,000 for full-time workers of the same age with a high school diploma and no degree. Now, people focus on the $50,000. Well, you ain't making no money. You know, you spend all this money and you're in debt. No, that's not how life works. The median income in the United States is about $40,000 a year. Okay. Your income will increase steadily with a bachelor's degree. It doesn't matter if you have it in psychology or if you have it in criminal justice like me. Your income will go up. It will. I promise you it will. If you don't have a college degree and you go work for a business, hopefully you young people understand these businesses ain't loyal. They will cut your throat. Right? At least with a degree, you have marketability. You have something to fall back on. You can market yourself, right? Don't get caught up, man. I'm telling you, young people, do not get caught up in this foolishness and nonsense of social media platforms. It's a lie. And shame on you if you do. You know, when I hear young people talk about, well, you're 50, you're still paying your student loans off. Okay, so let's take a look at that. $100,000, $200,000 investment in your education. You invest that in buying a home, because homes today for young people start off about $300,000-$400,000. Don't pay on your home. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to come in. You're going to default. They're going to take your home. That's going to hurt you. So you got to look at things and keep things in perspective and be realistic. You have to be realistic about what you're doing and how you're going about doing it. Okay, young people. Number 7, the unemployment rate is lower for college graduates than for workers without a bachelor's degree. And that gap widened as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. I just said that. A lot of folks struggle, man. You know, if you worked in industries where there were warehouses and delivery went up. But if you worked in a warehouse, you couldn't go to work. How were you getting paid during the coronavirus? A lot of people found out when the pandemic hit. A lot of folks found out. They need to have another skill set. You know, and thank God there was YouTube, because YouTube blew up for a lot of folks. But YouTube is not a viable source of income for most people. And let me explain why. Most humans are not disciplined enough to stay on YouTube and build. It takes years a lot of times. Everybody's timing is going to be different, right? If you're going into YouTube saying, well, I'm going to make money, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, you got to put in the work. You have to learn everything about that craft, and you continue on year after year after year after year to sustain it. YouTube is only sustainable if you put in the work, right? You want to be an entrepreneur and you're going to go for YouTube. Guess what? It's going to be a lot of goddamn work. Don't get it twisted. Don't get caught up. It's going to be a lot of work. You have to learn about the analytics. You have to learn about a lot of things. You have to watch hundreds of videos, thousands of hours of tutorials, because it's your craft. You're building your business as an entrepreneur if that's what you want. You got to learn about limited liability corporations, LLCs. You got to learn about a lot of things if you're going to do YouTube. You just can't press the button, hit record, and be like, hey, I'm going to sit back and wait and see what happens. You've got to go to work, right? One of the things for YouTube's, you will never see me using a Cash App, PayPal, or a Patreon. I'm not interested in that. And if that's what you want to do, you go for it. But I do have 23 ebooks that I'm selling. They're coming directly from me, right? So I'm looking at, well, I got one hell of a skill set. I'm a great researcher. I can write my ass off. I've already self-published 2 books. My first book I self-published was in 2000. My second one was in 2020. So I know what my skills are. So I might as well go ahead and utilize them and get paid. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm at a totally different transition in my life. I've worked in 2 recession-proof industries. I've got 30 years under my belt. I'm going to be all right. Okay. Number 8. Recent college graduates are more likely than graduates overall to be underemployed. That is, working in jobs that typically do not require a college degree. Okay. Number 9. When it comes to income, wealth accumulation, first-generation college graduates lag substantially behind those with college-educated parents. Those are the facts. Don't get mad at the facts, man. You may not agree with them, but don't get mad at them. That's just what it is. All right, number 10, Millennials and Gen Z. Most Americans with college degrees see value in their experience. Facts. This is all I'm saying. It takes a commitment to go to school and to graduate. Some people, I've met so many people in my life, they just don't commit to anything. They don't commit to anything, man. And typically, a lot of people that don't commit to anything, they have a hard life. And the reason they have a hard life is because you have to be willing to come out of self. That's just how life works. If you are unwilling to commit to anything, life's going to be challenging for you. It really, really is, man. Because humans are built with drive. Not everybody has work ethic. You either have it or you don't. So all I'm telling you, millennials and Gen Z, is college is absolutely worth it, right? And like I said, you go the direction you need to go to fulfill your personal happiness. That's what it comes down to. To hell with what society is telling you to do or what not to do. But don't look down on the educated. Don't do that. It's not a good thing. Okay? Whatever you're going to invest your labor in, time waits for no one. Point blank, period. Time waits for no one. So whatever investment you're going to do, make it the right investment. That's Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. Uncle E's going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to push you in this direction. I'm not going to sit up here and bullshit you. But I will challenge you, though. Okay, that's how I get down. All right, millennials and Gen Z. That is another live stream. I appreciate you young people, man. I love learning from you. I love hanging out with you. Love your minds. I love how you think. I love how you're moving. Like I said, you have access to the global world, the global economy. You can live on any continent. Remember that. You're not stuck within the borders of the United States. But it does take a certain amount of courage to take risks. It does. If you're not willing to take risks in life, hey, blame yourself. Right? Blame yourself. All right. I live stream once a week. I will be back next week for another live stream. And like I said, appreciate you young people. Mis amigos. Hasta la próxima semana. Paz. Adios. My Spanish speakers. Bienvenidos. Siempre. Aquí. All right? All right. I'm out. Till next week. I appreciate you young people. Thank you for being present. Have a great week. Keep me in your daily prayers as I will do the same. All right, millennials and Gen Z. This is Ephraim B. Martin. Peace.